Good morning, good souls. It is a delightful day to be alive and together, to meet smiling eyes and to give a gaze on the season's flowers, and to hear our beloved Bill's sweet sounds on our beautiful piano. And we especially appreciate him for stepping in where we suddenly had an opening for an accompanist. And I won't mention the person who slashed his finger badly, but there could have been easier ways to get out of this gig. Thank you, Jonathan Dean, for offering. We gather here for the purpose of celebrating the gifts of life we've received and to share them. We gather to pass on both comfort and courage with those among us to be strengthened at the moment that now calls upon us to find a new way. We gather in joy. Inspired by the life and works of Scott and Helen Nearing, and most recently by Helen's book, Living and Leaving the Good Life, I had begun to think about what that concept means to me and how I've experienced it in my 80 years on this good earth. Let us begin again. Okay, we're going to start with the opening hymn. It's 10:14, Answering the Call of Love. I think that maybe there's a, hold on a minute here. Yeah, interesting. Okay, let us begin by waving to our friends online. Thank you for being there. We need you. We love you. And we are also going to be passing the peace among ourselves. And I think most of you know how we do this. Visit other people in the room. If you kind of just have to pick up the energy of other, So the way we do it is we go and visit people in the room and greet them and wish them a peace.
Newcomers over here.
Oh. Okay. Anyone here this morning for the very first time? Jonathan Dean, you are not here for the first time. Any hands up? Anyone here for the very first time? Okay. All right. Oh, there's someone there. Welcome. We don't want to. We're happy you're here, and there'll be a chance for you to get to know some of the some of the membership people, if you're interested after. And let's greet one another. Pick up their body energy and see if you can tell whether they want to be touched only by elbows or they want a hug. So go for it. All right. So it turns out that we're missing a whole page from what should be up there, what should be whatever. So here we are, and we'll have to improvise a little bit, or just, see what my skill level is. What can I do in a dilemma like this? Anyway, welcome to All Souls. Thank you. We're going to light the chalice this morning, a symbol of our faith, in joy and in recognition of how special it is to have a safe place like this, to be in a time like this, and how beautiful it is to have this no matter what else is going on in the world. So Danny will light the chalice. Thank you, Danny. And Danny's also going to light the candle of peace. And I had something written that I really felt good about, and maybe I'll share it with anybody who asks. I'll send it to you when I get home and find my original script. So we're lighting a candle of peace this morning for all of our hearts, for all the pain that we witness, the pain that we feel, the moments of question and uncertainty, and for the fact that we don't bear any of this alone. So in joy and in peace, since peace begins with us. Thank you, Danny, very much. Okay. Oh, it's up there. Well, so that's where that page ended, apparently. All right. I can't read it.
At times our light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another soul. Each of us has cause to think with gratitude of those who have lighted the flame once again within us.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all the support I'm getting this morning from the pews. Huh?
We're carrying you.
Yeah? Well, you're helping me. Thank you. Appreciate it. This morning I've invited my dear friend Jan Howell to do the reading.
Good morning. Sue has asked me to read this lovely poem by Wendell Berry, a favorite of mine and probably of many of yours, called The Peace of Wild Things. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and where the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world and am free. And Sue said it is our tradition to read this twice, so again. When despair for the world grows in me and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and where the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
Thank you, Jan. Danny, will you join us? Our reflections this morning are going to be Danny Spur. And the name of his reflection is, How Happy's That Man? and then we'll have a musical meditation that he has arranged for us, and then I will do a reflection.
Thank you, Sue. Before I start, I would just like to acknowledge that my reflection is very gendered, so please forgive me, and please feel free to mentally substitute other genders into this reflection, because it applies to everyone. When Sue Frankowitz first asked me to give a reflection on living the good life, my first thought was the happy man, a Morris dance from the village of Atterbury in southern England. But we'll get back to that later. My next thought was, what is living the good life? Then things got more complicated. Is living the good life about happiness, contentment, service to others, pleasure, living in harmony with God, with the Tao, with the eternal, with oneself? Is it an ideal that you strive toward but never attain? In the book of Ecclesiastes, the author explores the meaning of life, coming back again and again to all is vanity. People are never satisfied. There's nothing new under the sun. He states, I searched my mind how to cheer my body with wine, my mind still guiding me with wisdom, and how to lay hold on folly, till I might see what is good for the sons of man to do under heaven during the few days of their lives. He built houses, he planted vineyards, accumulated great wealth. He had whatever he desired and kept his heart from no pleasure. But still, all is vanity and a striving after wind. The author became very wise. But what befalls the fool will befall me also. Why then have I been so very wise? The closest he comes to a conclusion is that there is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink and find enjoyment in his toil. I thought of a line from a Kurosawa movie that I like, Yojimbo. A long life eating mush is best. I thought of my grandfather who ate oatmeal every day and the occasional Twix bar and seemed to find enjoyment in his toil, even if it involved a bunch of cursing. He lived a good life, though not one free of suffering. So then how about suffering? Is that part of a good life? In Buddhism, suffering and attachment are part of being human, and are part of life. The Buddha went through a similar journey to Ecclesiastes. He tried one extreme, the search for happiness through the pleasure of the senses, which is described as the low, common, unprofitable, and of ordinary people. He tried the other extreme of searching for happiness through self-mortification and asceticism, which was painful, unworthy, and unprofitable. Through this, he found the middle path, the noble truths of dukkha, of suffering, the origins of suffering, the sensation of suffering, of thirst, of attachment, the way leading to the cessation of suffering. And from this awareness that everyone is suffering arises compassion for all beings. The Buddha acknowledges happiness is to be found in the world. He even lists some of the forms of happiness. Happiness of family life, happiness of the life of a recluse, happiness of sense pleasures and renunciation, happiness of attachment and detachment, physical happiness, mental happiness. But this happiness is impermanent, like all things. Within the happiness is the cessation of that happiness. So this is where my mind went, my exploration. But let's go back to the happy man. One of the things that has brought me great joy and happiness over the years is dancing, singing, and playing music with my friends and family, perhaps with an occasional libation to loosen things up. Whether touring around the country and meeting amazing people with my old band, the Can Kickers, or playing fiddle tunes with my friends, or contra dancing. I have a beautiful memory of hanging out at my grandmother's house after Great Uncle Calvin's funeral. They wanted to sing hymns, but my grandmother had gotten rid of her piano. Someone had a guitar, which they then handed to me, and they all sang hymns while Aunt Burnett called out the chords for me to play. And Morris dancing. I was exposed to Morris dancing at a young age. Don't feel sorry for me, no. It is an English folk tradition that usually involves jumping around with hankies or sticks, and maybe bells. The Happy Man is a dance and song from the Atterbury tradition, collected in 1916 by Janet Blunt from a Mr. William Binks Walton, who learned it from Solomon Lyne's son, and Solomon Lyne, who was a very old man when he was young, and Solomon Lynes himself was known locally as the Happy Man. The song asks the question, how happy is that man? To which you can think about how happy he might be, or also you might think, how happy is he really? So we're going to perform for you with the help of Mystic Garland dancers, the Happy Man. And I would just note, the Mystic Garland dancers dance practice every week, and if anyone is interested in joining them, talk to them afterwards. They're looking for new recruits. All right.
It's been years since I've been here.
And I think the words will be up on the screen if people want to sing along.
Maybe they'll read it.
Thank you so much. What a joyful thing. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Danny, for your reflection and your friends. Living the good life. This topic, which I proposed at a workshop planning meeting with Carolyn last spring, was inspired by the book Living the Good Life by Helen and Scott Nearing and its sequel, Living and Leaving the Good Life by Helen. I have been inspired by their writing, their lives, to combine a liberation theology that gives me both permission and a mandate to speak truth to power in pursuit of justice, with building, and so, combining that with building a life closer to the rhythms and natural cycles of life, respecting and revering the land, revering the land, living simply that others may simply live. So what might it mean to live the good life? A short definition might be a life lived with integrity and in harmony with the natural world, a life lived with plenty of gusto, but also humility. Integrity between what we say we believe and what we actually do. A refusal to play into systems of oppression, but to resist the temptation. A willingness to support but not rescue those who are struggling in life. Resisting racism, militarism, and consumerism per the wisdom of Reverend Martin Luther King, Jr. Living with obvious joy and renewable hope, resting as needed, asking for help, trusting. Sources of joy for me have been singing whenever it is called for, and sometimes more than that. For instance, bursting into spontaneous song, which I am wont to do. Creating with my mind, my heart, my hands, and my sewing machine. Growing flowers and vegetables, and rhubarb, and I'm not sure where rhubarb falls there, to share. Living with an unarmored heart, choosing those spaces that allow for that sweetness to be revealed. Supporting others who take risks for the well-being of all. Reading about real lives of those who inspire me to live as my best self. And leading when it's asked of me, and sometimes when it's not, which can get me in trouble. Resources for a good life. A community of like-minded folks who are prepared to keep learning about themselves, the inner life, and the world, our outer lives. I once learned the difference between feelings and senses. Our senses were given to us to obtain information about the world around us. And our feelings provide information about the world inside of us. So when someone pushes your button, that's information for you, that you have a button around that issue. And it is your button, not mine. But I found that fascinating, and I've tried to use that within my life. When I'm feeling strongly about something, it's like, wow, that's information. Okay, let me follow that and see where it goes. Another source or resource for a good life for me has been National Public Radio, PBS, good newspapers and journals, magazines. Colleagues in my chosen profession of social work, and my compatriots in the work of social change. The UU principals, UU clergy and staff, All Souls UU congregation. Mentors, professors, teachers, books, documentaries, choirs and choruses, grown children, friends. A journal and the discipline to write every day. I'm working on this. Inspiring music and singers, memoirs and documentary films, and writers, poetry and poets, other musicians who know how to put it all together for the most moving and joyful effect. Dancing, or at least moving to the music. Soulful friends, a deep well of stories worth telling. and humor, because I'm thinking this is kind of heavy. And maybe next year I'll sign up to do something around humor, and then I can work on it. Although I can be funny at times, mostly playful. I want to say that one of the most freeing things for me in having values and being willing to take risks to support them occurred in my work life. I've been, first of all, a director of 2 small nonprofits. Then I've been a medical social worker, a hospice social worker, and a clinical social worker in a child care agency. When I was working for agencies, I found it more and more challenging to defend the ethics of social work ethics, which mean putting the client always first. So when you're in that position where social workers often are, where you have potential for split, what's the right word? Who's the client? Is the client the person, or is the client the agency? And it's never been hard for me to stay very clear about that. So, for instance, I worked in a small nursing home, and I was the director of social work, but they decided I should also be, since I was so competent, they thought it would be a good idea for me to also be the admissions director. Well, those 2 roles are in conflict because the medical social worker in a medical setting is there to protect people from the medical system, which wants to roll right on over them and do what's most efficient and produces the best results on paper or whatever. However, the role of admissions director is to keep the beds full and keep people moving around and to keep them moving out as soon as we want them out if they're really difficult to work with, let's say, or to move them out of a single bed room, even though they still have C. diff, which is a very virulent kind of infection that happens in hospitals and nursing homes, other institutions. So to have the freedom to choose what's important to you means being willing to risk going on to another job. If talking it through with management doesn't bring you to where you need to be, then you have to do the next right thing. And I feel like a good life is one where you're willing to risk, where you don't need a lot of money to be happy, which I haven't in my life. You don't choose social work if you want to become wealthy. You get your satisfaction in other ways. So I feel blessed for that, to have that in my life, to have lived that way. Gratitude is another source of joy for me. To remember what is here within my beautiful world, within my beautiful relationships, within the music that I sing, within the community that I'm part of. That keeps me going. And the sure knowledge that life is not a performance, it is an unself-conscious dancing. Dancing as if no one is watching. From Chris Williamson, this line came to me while I was thinking about this. Love of my life, I am crying. I am not dying, I am dancing. Dancing along in the madness, there is no sadness, only a song of the soul. Thank you. Go back here, and we are going to celebrate. There should be Okay, we're celebrating Ginny Campbell. Ginny has been so busy for so many years keeping the beauty going here. She's on the pastoral care team. She's a sharing circle facilitator, the outreach coordinator, and an OWL facilitator. She's an Italian sister, fill in for the office administrator, and has served on the board of trustees. Thank you for all you do, Ginny. And she's humble. What a beautiful package. Okay. All right. I think we are ready to do the work of joys and sorrows. Oh no, we're going to do the offering. Let's do the offering. We give to the work of All Souls. Our work weaves the fabric of love called community. To this end, we dedicate ourselves and this our offering. Your generosity is greatly needed and truly appreciated. May the offering be received. For all you've shared and all you've sacrificed. Now we're where we like to be at this time, creating and sustaining beloved community by sharing what's really in our hearts. So we start by sharing joy and sorrow with candles of intention. And Danny will be there for you with a match, and you are invited right now to come up and share. Light a candle and know in your heart your intention. want to call out Marilyn Richardson, who's doing just a beautiful job caring for the chancel and the chalice and the flowers and the candles, and doing a beautiful job. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to read from the book that is out in the hall and is available. It's out in the foyer, which, oh, no, it's back here now because that's the door we're coming in. All right. So for anyone who hasn't learned this, there's a gray book like this, and in it, with the date for each Sunday, are the particular things you would like shared orally with the community. And Martha Lind says, "Thanks for a wonderful sister, Barb Yates." And John L. says, "I am thankful the church allows us to hold Al-Anon meetings on Friday." Thank you for that. We don't have anything here from the online place where you can register your concerns, but we do have the online chat, and Danny is going to read that from his trusty laptop.
I don't see.
You don't see anything? Okay. Do you see anything? No. Nope. Okay. Oh, there we go. Excuse me?
May I shout out something?
I think you could.
It's my daughter Bronwyn's birthday.
Yay! Wonderful. And how old is Bronwyn?
9.
Very nice. Those of you who are here for the wonderful musicale that we had in June will remember Bronwyn singing with Danny and thank you, and Liz, and her sister Jojo, which was just a delightful evening all the way around. Okay. So my response to joys and concerns is from Khalil Gibran. This wonderful book, The Prophet, which was given to us as a wedding gift many, many years ago, is called Joy and Sorrow. When a woman said, "Speak to us of joy and sorrow," and he answered, "Your joy is your sorrow unmasked, and the selfsame well from which your laughter rises was ofttimes filled with your tears. And how else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Is not the cup that holds your wine the very cup that was burned in the potter's oven? Is it not the lute that soothes your spirit, the very wood that was hollowed with knives? When you are joyous, look deep into your heart, and you shall find it is only that which was given you, that has given you sorrow, that is giving you joy. When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Some of you say, joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, nay, sorrow is the greater. But I say unto you, they are inseparable. Together they come, and when one sits alone with you at your board, remember that the other is asleep upon your bed. And to those who are feeling misunderstood, who are feeling grief of a special kind that has to do with relationships, I would like to sing a quick song. It's called How Could Anyone Ever Tell You? How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How can anyone ever tell you that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Thank you. All right. right. Let us just take a moment to sit quietly in silence. I'm going to have to come to gong practice one of these days. All right, the closing hymn, which we're inviting you to sing along with us, is by David Mallet, and it's called The Garden Song. And please make note of one change in the song from the way you may have learned it, and that is we are not going to make this garden grow, we're going to help this garden grow. Thanks, Dan. You're going to come over here and, oh, you know what? We were supposed to have this one on a stand.
It's fine.
I think Adam has it set up.
Okay.
Just leave it like that.
You go on.
Well, it's a surprise. What can I say? Now, how? You know it's a Unitarian song. It says someone bless these seeds by sowing. Okay.
To
Danny, if you'd like to read this. And I'll-
As we extinguish the chalice, let us say the words posted as ended, but our service is not yet done. May our spirits be renewed and our purpose resolved as we meet the challenges of the week. The chalice flame is extinguished until once again ignited by the strength of our communion.
Thank you. May we each go forth to practice the joy in living and living simply on this good earth, sharing with all beings fairly and mindfully. May we go forth in gratitude, resisting the impulse to compare our choices to that of others, and by living simply, be free. And we're going to change the order a little here, and we're going to have our announcements before the postlude. If you're new today or newish and would like to learn more about All Souls and the UU tradition, head to the welcome table where a friendly soul will greet you. And there she is. Thank you, Peggy. After church today, the Everyday Spiritual Practice Group will be meeting in the Nash Room about 11:15. That gives you a chance to grab some coffee and a little snack. The Sharing Circle for Caregivers will be held in the Vail Library. Pride signups are still ongoing, and we need just one more person for the first shift. The sign-up sheet is at the welcome table. And next week, Paul Carolan will be our worship leader, and I'm sure it will be a lovely service. Thank you. I know something about putting it together. It's going to be a good service. Okay, and so we will conclude with a song that will be up here with words. It's called Song of the Soul. It's intended to leave us lighter, brighter, ready for life. Bill, I'm ready when you are.
So we'll sing that first introduction.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Yeah, okay. Open mine eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Open mine eyes, illumine me. Spirit divine, love of my life, I am crying, I am not dying, I am dancing, dancing along in the madness, where there is no sadness, only a song of the soul, and we'll sing this song. Why don't you sing along, and we can sing for a long, long time. Why don't you sing this song? Why don't you sing along, and we can sing for a long, long time. What do you do for your living? Are you forgiving, giving shelter? Follow the heart, love will find you, the truth will unbind you, and sing out your song of the soul, and we'll sing this song. Why don't you sing along, and we can sing for a long, long time. Why don't you sing this song? Why don't you sing along, and we can sing for a long, everyone who sang along, and for everyone who joined us this morning to make this a beautiful day. Go in peace, believe in peace, create peace. Amen.